Hey, what's up, man? So I'm gonna show you kind of what a hammer-on is. It's kind of when you have an open string and you go, but there's only one pluck. Instead of doing, you just do the one pluck, and then you kind of hammer on with your finger. So we're gonna do some finger picking. So you can kind of get your middle finger or probably your index finger, and we're gonna be just plucking the E string, the high E string, which is the first string. Alright. And we're going to use our middle finger for now on our left hand to do the hammer on. So I'm going to get the index finger on my right hand, and I'm going to not pluck it like that, but just gently plucking it up like that. And then I'm going to get the index finger, the middle finger of my left hand to do the hammer on to the second fret of the E string, like this. This might seem really, really basic, but when we can start building with things like this, it can open up a lot of interesting stuff for us. So kind of just practicing that. And then maybe try to hammer on a little, once you kind of get the feel of it, kind of do that hammer on a little more sharp, kind of like instead of this, kind of doing like. And then try the same, everything the same thing, but try it with the fourth fret of that E string. And then go back to the second fret of the E string. So practice that a couple times. Alright. And then try to combine them. So we're going to do the second fret and then the fourth fret. Again, all on the E string. And then again, 2 and then 4. And then we can do the opposite. So what we're doing now is a hammer-on, which is open and then bam. But we can do the opposite. Instead of open, do the second fret again. Instead of open, hammer on second fret, we're gonna do, the first thing we're gonna do is the pluck up of the second fret on the E string. And then we're gonna release it and do the opposite. So instead of, it's this. Instead of this, there's this. Kind of closer look at it here. Hammer on, and then the new one, which is the opposite, which is 2, and then pluck off. At first you might be like, but try to kind of have a firm hammer on, not hammer on, but to start with having it there. And then when you take your finger off, try to give it some pop instead of kind of like you get a tight hold on that. I'll practice that a couple times. Alright, and now let's try to put everything together. So the new one we did, which is second fret and then off, do that with the fourth fret. So instead of 0, 4, we're doing 4, pluck off to 0. 0 is in the open string, in the E string. Just like this. Like I said, try to have a nice little grip on it. They kind of pop off. Not too intense, like not too gentle, just kind of that middle ground of. You can almost kind of like a very, very, very slight kind of bend up almost. Very, very slight like this. Like, just a little bit of an angle. But very, very slight though when you're coming off of it. Very, very slight. So it's going to take some time, but try to keep practicing that. Get a feel for it. Practice that just a couple times, and then we'll put everything together. Make a cool little song. Alright. So the first thing we did, which is the hammer-on, 0 and then 2, and then 0 then 4, like this. And then again. And then we're going to do the second thing we learned, which is already on the 2nd fret, and then plucking off of that like this. And then same thing with the 4th fret. Again, 2 0, 4 0. Then everything together. First thing. And then the second thing we learned. All right. So that same exact thing, everything exactly the same. Now this can get interesting when you get used to that. Is you can kind of make this a little more interesting. So I'm going to show you that in the next video. Make sure you practice this and get this part down first.